Hey familia, Miranda here, and in today's video I have another filmography collection to share with you guys. So today's pick is Jamie Foxx. So you guys, I'm actually a pretty huge fan of his. I mean, he's a fairly decent actor. He's definitely has some super fun roles, and I'm surprised to actually see how many films of his that I do have in the collection. I think I have kind of the majority of them. I'm still missing like a few, and obviously the ones that are only available on streaming and whatnot. He actually has a lot coming up, you guys, so I'm excited to see his performances that are coming up. But anyhow, you guys, let's go on ahead and see all of the films of his that I have in my collection. As always, of the ones that I have not seen, which I don't think are too many, let me know which ones I should jump on first, and let me know what are some of your favorites of his. So let's get into it. All right, so first up we have Stealth. Now, I actually saw this one in theaters, and honestly, you guys, I feel like this one kind of flew under the radar a bit. I actually really enjoyed this one. I know it didn't really get a whole lot of love, but I mean, you have these kind of fighter pilots, jets that are basically don't need any control, but then they kind of just take over everything. And so they are trying to get these jets to stop from, like flying around and causing damage and all that and whatnot. So yeah, this is actually a really good fighter pilot flick. So I highly recommend this one if you haven't checked it out. I don't know why I didn't get enough love. Next up we have Jarhead. It's been a while since I've seen this one, but I do remember thoroughly enjoying this. And of course we have Rio 1 and Rio 2. He voiced Nico. These are such fun flicks, you guys. My kids, they would put these on repeat like all the time, and they're just so catchy, like the music in it and everything. And they're just fun little storyline, especially the first one about him, being this macaw that can't fly, so and then making his way to Rio and everything. And so yeah, they're both fun flicks. All right, the next one I have here is Annie. Now, no, it's not the original, but I still really enjoyed this one. I thought it was super fun. Jamie Foxx in here was fun. Even like Cameron Diaz and the little girl that played Annie, she was really great. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously very similar to the original Annie, but yeah, this is still another like kind of fun new remake of it. Next up, we have White House Down. I haven't had a chance to check this one out, but I will get to it eventually. Then we do have Valentine's Day. I know not a lot of people really like these films, but I do. I think they're fun, and I just love the whole like intertwining stories and everything. But I mean, his role in this wasn't all that great. I mean, he was just worked for like the news, and he's like supposed to cover sports, and then they send him to go cover something else and whatnot. So I mean, it wasn't really all that great, but I mean, he's in here. He was fine. Obviously, it wouldn't be a collection without Django. Such an awesome flick. All right, the next one I have here is Law Abiding Citizen. Have yet to check this one out. This one too I have yet to watch, and that is The Kingdom. This one I actually really haven't heard too much on, so I don't really know what all it's about, but I'll check it out at some point. Next up we have Baby Driver. I freaking love this one. This film was such a freaking blast. Just the way the music is like in sync with everything. And yeah, I mean, Jamie Foxx, he was pretty funny in here. His character was kind of dumb at times, but still a super fun flick, you guys. Then we do have the first and second Horrible Bosses. I've only seen the first one, still need to check out the second. All right, next up is this flick called I'm Still Here. He's not really listed on here, but it's in his filmography, and I'm not exactly sure who he plays in here since I've never seen it, but I do have this one. Another one that should be in everyone's collection, such a fantastic flick, and that is Ray. His performance in here is great. Then we have this film here called Shade. Now this one, you guys, if you liked Rounders, you will enjoy this one. This has like one of the coolest openings I have seen, in a movie. But yeah, it has to do with like poker and just kind of the tricks it takes to, play and everything. And so it's a really good flick, you guys. Highly underrated in my opinion. Then we do have this film called Sleepless. I have yet to check this one out. And then this one too I've always heard of, but I haven't gotten around to watching this, and that is The Soloist. All right, then we do have The Amazing Spider-Man 2, as well as Spider-Man No Way Home. He did play Electro. All right, next up we have Collateral. Now this is probably one of my top favorite roles of his. Definitely a little bit more on the serious side for him, but this film is just so freaking good, you guys. If you haven't seen it, you definitely need to. It is pretty awesome. The next one I have here is Due Date. This film is so flippin' hilarious. Though Zach Galifianakis' character in here is kind of gross. But yeah, Jamie Foxx, it's been a while since I've seen this one. I've seen it numerous times, but it's probably been a while since I actually last watched it. So I need to refresh my memory because I really don't remember Jamie Foxx in this. So I'll have to give this a rewatch soon and just see who he plays in here. All right, then there is Just Mercy. Super great flick, you guys. I will say, though, Michael B. Jordan steals a show in this, but Jamie Foxx, he's still great in it nonetheless. And basically it has to do with him being convicted of a murder. And Michael B. Jordan's character is the kind of lawyer who takes on the case. And it's still in the time where there's racism, so that's kind of part of their case there and why he was like convicted and everything and stuff. So it's a really, really good flick based on a true story. And then he did voice Joe in the movie Soul. I mean, I thought this was an okay flick. Wasn't my favorite, but I dig it. All right, so now we're down to the DVDs that I have. This one right here, you have Redemption, and this is the Tookie Williams story. So this one, he is absolutely fantastic in this film, you guys. And I was actually super obsessed with the Tookie Williams story. I don't exactly remember how I found out about it, about him specifically. I remember that there used to be this kind of like show where they used to kind of like go in depth on some of like the most notorious like inmates that are like on death row and stuff like that. I don't remember the name of the show, but I'm pretty sure that there was an episode about him on there, and that was how I found out about him, because this movie didn't come out until 2005, and like 2005 I was like starting high school. And when I found out about him, I was in middle school. But immediately after I watched that show, or whatever the heck it was that I was watching with him in it, I went to the library and checked out every book I could on him. And I just became like super obsessed with his story. But basically, he is kind of the founder of the Crips gang. And, you know, obviously he was put away for murder, sent to death row and everything. But he had like a total turnaround in prison. And he wrote like a bunch of books and stuff to like inspire you know, children, like the youth and everything, about like nonviolence, and, you know, teach them about that. And he just totally, you know, kind of regretted his past of, you know, murder and just the whole violence in the gangs kind of thing. And so, yeah, he just turned himself around in prison and just put out a lot of books for children to, you know, teach them to like stay away from gangs and all that kind of stuff. But it's a really, really good story, you guys. I highly recommend this if you haven't checked it out. So, so good. All right, next up is Breaking All the Rules. I really enjoy this one, you guys. I think it's a fun little rom-com. Basically, Morris Chestnut, his character, I think he was the one that was dating Gabrielle Union's character. They broke up, and she like cut her hair. So Jamie Foxx's character, I think, is the one that ends up falling in love with her. But basically, he had wrote this like dating book, and it's called Breaking All the Rules because technically he breaks all the rules that he wrote like in his own book or whatever, because he falls for her. Which I think these two, Morris Chestnut and Jamie Foxx, their characters, I think they were like best friends or just really good friends in the film or whatever. But since she cut her hair, he didn't know that this was the same chick that he was dating and stuff. But it's a fun flick, you guys. Like I said, fun little rom-com. Check it out. All right, this next flick is one, actually it's probably one of my favorites too of his, and it's one that too has definitely flown on the radar. I think a lot of people have forgotten about this film, and I just think it's a fun little kind of comedy, and that is Held Up. And basically, yeah, he gets held up in this like gas station. He had a fight with his girlfriend, and so she's away at the airport, just, you know, there, and they sort of kind of broke up or whatever. But yeah, he's stuck in this gas station that's getting held up by this group of people that they're not exactly there for bad reasons in a way, but it is just, it's loads of fun, you guys. It's so funny because it just takes place in this like little town, and so it's hilarious, you guys. It's just like the part where he gets hit in the face with a chip, like, oh my gosh, like seriously, that's so stupid. But yeah, Held Up, this is a fun one for sure, so check it out if you haven't. Like I said, this one, you don't really hear anybody talk about this one anymore, so Held Up. All right, the next one I have here is Dreamgirls. It has been a long time since I've seen this one. I remember this just being so good, especially like all the music and stuff in it, so I definitely need to revisit it soon. So this next one here definitely has to be my all-time favorite role of his. I just recently rewatched it after so many years, and it has just held up so freaking good, you guys. And I'm talking about Booty Call. Yup. This is classic right here. But honestly, the cast, the four main people, Jamie Foxx, Tommy Davidson, Vivica Fox, and Tamala Jones, they are just fire together in this, you guys. This film is just so freaking hilarious. I mean, just Jamie Foxx and Tommy Davidson, all the dumb shit that they get themselves into just for some booty, like for real. It is just, it's hilarious, you guys. So if you haven't seen this one in a while, definitely pop it in and give it a watch, because I'm telling you, it has held up. It is just so freaking hilarious. All right, couple more titles here. We have Any Given Sunday, which this one, again, I haven't seen this one, so I need to jump on that one. And the last one I have here is one that it's been a hot minute too since I've seen this one, so definitely need to revisit it, and that is The Players Club. So that is it for my Jamie Foxx collection. I know, I'm very, very surprised at how big of a collection of his I actually have. Again, you guys, let me know which ones I need to jump on from the ones I haven't seen, and what are some of your favorites? What are some of his that I am missing as well? Thank you so much for watching. Join the family if you have not, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.